Welcome to June's edition of Lawton's Legacy. We've got an action-packed month full of family activities, all part of our Kids First initiative to be a community of choice where families thrive. And so we're excited about that, but first we want to take care of a little business, and then we're going to get to the amazing list of activities. I want to say thank you to City Manager John Ratliff and his entire crew at the City of Lawton for their response to the storm that happened about a month and a half ago. And it was such an amazing response. I'd been out of town, and when I came back, I was so amazed at how clean the town was, and that took a lot of coordination. And of course, I was keeping up on the rescues. We had so many rescues by our fire department, our first responders, but then the cleanup happens. And I think the whole Public Works Department and Parks Department and everybody jumped in to make a difference and get our community clean. And I was so impressed with what I came back to. It was an example that government worked the way it was supposed to. Government worked the way it was supposed to. And the city manager and his crew did the emergency response, for which they're trained for, and all the cleanup, and the political was standing by if it was needed, an emergency proclamation or some policy change for the city manager. So kudos, city manager. Do you have anything you want to throw in on that?
Yes, Mayor. I just want to say, and you kind of touched on it with our first responders. They were amazing, of course. The fire department, the police department, public works, public utilities, all of those guys pitched in, and it was a whole of government response. And our communications and marketing team did a wonderful job too, communicating with the public. So wanted to publicly acknowledge all of those individuals. But it was a great response, and everyone came together.
And I don't want to leave out the dispatch center.
Absolutely.
Their phones had to be going 90 to nothing, and they did a great job getting that out. Let's move on to road closures. Now, we've got a lot going on in the city. We're fixing roads, but we're also fixing water lines, we're fixing sewer lines. Talk to us a little bit about the road closures and what we can expect this month and other reasons. We've got bridge repairs, things like that.
Well, like you said, Mayor, there's a lot of projects going on in the City of Lawton right now. We have a road closure map, an interactive map that's on our website, and it's updated in real time. So our citizens can go there to find out, to plan their routes, to find out which roads are closed before they leave the home. I know that that's been a concern that's been communicated to us a lot. And we just want to make sure that our citizens have the most accurate and up-to-date information before they leave home. And we thought that this was the best way to do it.
All right, great. Look forward to that. And they can find that link on the city's website or on the Facebook page or both?
On the city's website.
Okay, great. That'd be very helpful. Now, I want to talk a little bit about our Kids First initiative. And out of our Kids First initiative, we've put together a homeless response action plan. That's going to be discussed in the Homeless Action Committee, as well as our Unhoused Trust Authority. Now, and of course, in that action plan, we talk about the way we're going to deal with chronic homelessness. And we're really making progress in that arena. And I think other communities are watching us. Talk to us a little bit about that trust authority and where we're going there.
Well, Mayor, the Trust Authority, the Unhoused Trust Authority, will be considered at the Homeless Action Committee tomorrow. And what that will do is that will create an organization specifically mandated to address homeless issues in the community, the chronic homelessness that you spoke of. So once that's considered, hopefully it'll be stood up. The authority will be empowered to own and manage real property, different sites around the city where the unhoused population may be, and it aligns with our Kids First Clean Communities and Neighborhoods initiative, because we're trying to deal with the unhoused population in a constructive way and still manage our clean and safe neighborhoods.
So Lawton Fort Sill is a community of family activities, and the first thing you're going to find is a summer full of activities for children. We've got these cards printed up, and you can find digital versions of these on the Facebook page and on the city's website. Where this QR code is, you'll find links. But it's just amazing how much we have. I hear people say there's nothing to do. I want to promise you, you can't do everything. There's so much to do here in town. So look, there should be a link in the video where you can find these, but you can also find them on Facebook and on the city's website. Let's start off with summer camps, which is on here. Lawton Public Schools partners with the City of Lawton for STEM camps. You can find that information on the link for Lawton Public Schools that we're going to show. But they also partner, Arts for All, the city, and the schools partner on the Arts Camp, which has been a crazy, amazing, successful program. And I'm going to tell you, it's a joy to visit. And then you've got the I Am STEM camps at the Spread the Word Ministries. And you can find Spread the Word Ministries online and get information there. A crazy busy month with activities all based on our Kids First initiative, a community where kids thrive, where families thrive. And then we have, born out of the Kids First initiative was the Department of Community Enrichment. So everybody's kind of, what does that mean? And it all has to do with safe and clean neighborhoods and really a whole community. And so John and Caitlin have put together the showcase for community enrichment on June the 12th, 5:30 to 7:30, right here at City Hall. And I think you're going to be given some free passes to the Aquatic Center. But talk to us a little bit about what citizens and families can learn there.
Well, Mayor, as you mentioned, the Safe and Clean Communities Initiative wouldn't be possible without our code enforcement officers. And they're kind of our frontline troops, if you will, in addressing issues and taking care of things. And so this is a good opportunity for our citizens to not necessarily see them as the person kind of pointing out the things that are wrong with their yard or whatever, but this is a good opportunity to interact with them and find out what they look at and how they assess things. And so we can all work together as a community, ensuring that our neighborhoods are safe and clean. So yes, we are giving away season passes for the Aquatic Center at the initiative, and we'll be talking about the Aquatic Center itself, and we'll be going over some things about that.
So what we have is the Department of Community Enrichment and Larry Parks as the director. And under that, we have the Department of Safe and Clean Neighborhoods and the Department of Parks. So important to our Kids First initiative and a community where families thrive. Then we've got the parade on June the 14th. It's the Army's birthday. Flag Day is the Army's birthday, and on June the 14th we're going to have a big parade to celebrate the Army, and the Army is going to turn out for a great parade. Always a lot of fun. Talk to us a little bit about the parade and what else we can expect from Fort Sill that you're aware of.
So the parade is going to happen again this year on June 14th instead of the normal Armed Forces Day. For the best opportunity to view the parade, you'll want to be either on C Avenue or in the vicinity of Gore and Fort Sill Boulevard. They're not going down Ferris this year like they have in the past, so that is one change to the parade route. So I know that is occurring on the 14th. On the 13th, Fort Sill is doing a live fire activity, and so anyone that wants to fire a cannon, which if you haven't done, it's really cool. You just got to sign up, you sign a waiver, and then you get to pull a lanyard and put a round down range. So I think that's a pretty awesome event.
All right, and it's a lot of fun firing those guns if you've never done it before. I'm not sure the guys that fire them every day think it's that much fun, but it's fun to go out there and fire them for the first time. And I got to fire one about a week or 10 days ago, and it was an experience we all need. You can go to the Fort Sill Facebook page and find links or advertisements about the activities that the community is invited to concerning the Army's birthday. And of course, that's important here at Lawton Fort Sill. Then we've got Juneteenth, a barbecue contest. Last year, they had 25 entries. What can you tell us about Juneteenth this year?
Well, we're doing it at Elmer Thomas Park again. Last year it was wildly successful. There were people from out of state that came in to cook ribs. So we anticipate a good draw again this year. And you really got to go out there and see it. It was such a great community event last year, and lots of really good food.
So it's a 2-day event.
Yep, June 20th and 21st.
Extended it last year to a 2-day event. Doing that again this year. If I know the people in charge of this with our arts and humanities and the chamber and everybody, it'll be even better than it was, and it was pretty amazing last year. Man, it's crazy busy June in Lawton Fort Sill. So many family activities for you to take a look at. Don't forget to go to the link and look at all the opportunities for kids. But then on June the 27th and 28th, we have Freedom Fest, always the weekend before the 4th of July. I guess unless 4th of July falls on a weekend. So on June 27th, 28th, we're having Freedom Fest. Now listen, this is the largest event in Lawton Fort Sill, Freedom Fest. And so we plan to be there both days because we've got some changes. Now, John, I got an invitation in the email to join a hot dog eating contest. What's that about?
Well, Mayor, every year at Freedom Fest, we have our annual hot dog eating contest. So I participated a couple years ago, took last year off. I don't think I'll sign up for it again. I had some indigestion afterwards. But on that Friday, on June 27th, first day of Freedom Fest, we've got the hot dog eating contest. We have gurney races, and then we have the soapbox derby races as well. And then that night we will have a smaller fireworks show, and we will have our drone show on Friday, June 27th. So that's what's going on Friday, Mayor.
So you mean to tell me we're going to have fireworks on Friday and fireworks on Saturday?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
And that drone show last year was amazing. And I think it just blew everybody away. And at the end of the drone show, the drones formed the I Love Lawton Fort Sill heart. And that was real exciting. And there's a special surprise of what it's going to be this year. You won't want to miss it. And that's on Friday night this year. So make sure that you show up for that. And then on Saturday, you'll want to come back because the headliner is Ashes and Arrows before the fireworks. And of course, there's lots of opportunities for the kids to come down front and dance and do things. And then I hear there's over 50 vendors. What else can you tell us about Saturday?
Well, we have the vendors, Mayor. We're going to be pushing out updates on our text service. So join LawtonEvents at 310 text 31002 to get those text updates at Freedom Fest. So the biggest thing after the concert, we'll have the big concluding fireworks show like we did last year. And that's the one that you really don't want to miss. And it's going to be even bigger and better than last year.
Okay, so plan on attending both nights. It's going to be a big deal. Don't forget to sign up for text so you get the reminders. And you can go to the Lawton Fort Sill Freedom Fest Facebook page and sign up for that hot dog eating contest, and we'll see you there.
And Mayor, I've got one more comment. Okay. We're encouraging our citizens to use the shuttles this year because there's always a lot of foot traffic at the event, and it's just, with vehicular traffic and the foot traffic, it really gets congested there on Ferris. So please use the shuttles whenever possible.
Okay, and they can park up at the auditorium and the museum and all that.
That's right.
Be there. Hey, I expect to see you at the hot dog eating contest.